This is my Pointy Negative Rake Scraper. But why would I use a Pointy Negative Rake Scraper? Watch. Here it is, the Carp Negative Rake Pointy Scraper, or the Carp Pointy Negative Rake Scraper, or the Scraper Negative Pointy Carp, whatever. But it's a scraper and it has got a negative rake. First, why would I use a negative rake? As you see, it is ground a little bit different from a normal scraper. A normal scraper has a very steep grinding angle, and the angle over here is much smaller. So, as you know, if you scrape, the bevel of your scraper should not touch the wood, because if it does, you'll have a small catch. Therefore, a negative rake scraper, it is almost impossible to have a catch with a normal negative rake scraper. But why would you want to have a pointy negative rake scraper? As you can see, these lines are not totally straight, but just a little bit bended, a little bit curved. There's a reason behind that, because if I do a flat surface, I'm not touching wood with the whole sharp edge, but just a tiny part of that edge touching the wood. So there will not be that much vibration. And having it curved means that I can do, for instance, the inside of a bowl. Let's go. Ta-da! So that's the first pro of a negative rake pointy scraper with slightly curved edges. Here's the second one. If you have a traditional half round nose scraper like this, you can only use it on one side. If you use the pointy scraper, you can use it on both sides. You see?
Yes.
Whoa! And it's also very practical in making these edges. Wonderful! But are there only pros about this negative rake scraper, or are there any cons? There is a con. If you see the difference in shape of this one and this one. This is the traditional scraper, it's got a very steep angle. Therefore, the cutting edge, the scraping edge here has lots of support from the bevel underneath it. As you see, the wood is falling on the scraper like this. There's much less support here to support the edge. So a negative rake scraper, you have to grind more often. It is what it is. That's also the reason why I say don't use your skew to scrape, because your skew will be blunt in a minute. Let's grind this thing. It's very easy. Bring your tool to the grinder. Put the angle of the platform so that the bevel is, the whole bevel is touching the stone, and there we go. So 1 or 2 times touching the stone should be enough. And now I have a new fresh burr on here that feels sharp. So I only grained the bevel underneath the edge. The top bevel, I leave it there until it gets so short that I put a new bevel on it. But I only grained it down on the downside of the edge. One more thing. You maybe know that I'm a great fan of these CBN wheels, and I grained this one on the stone because it gives me more burr than a CBN wheel does. And if you scrape, you want to use the burr. So I'm going to scrape again and finish this little bowl. And if you want to see more tips like these, subscribe to my channel. There's more tips on my channel already. So see you next time. Ha ha ha.